So, ngayon, i-discuss natin ang Chapter 11, which is Inventory Cost Flow. So, dito, ma-discuss natin kung paano ba ina-account or pina-value ang isang inventory. So, our discussion outline are as follows. So, first, to identify the cost formulas required by IFRS. The next is to apply the FIFO cost formula or the first in, first out. Then to apply the weighted average cost formula, the moving average cost formula, and the specific identification method. Okay, so, yung cost formula, according sa PAS 2, paragraph 25, ang cost of inventory shall be determined by using either the FIFO or the first in, first out and the weighted average. So, hindi pinipermit ang LIFO or yung last in, first out as an alternative formula in measuring cost of inventories. So, later on, madidiscuss natin isa-isa itong mga cost formulas and bakit hindi allowed si LIFO or si last in, first out. Okay, first, FIFO method, which stands for first in, first out. So, ito technically, let's say meron kang inventory. So, may beginning inventory ka, may mga binili ka, may purchases ka, then pag nakabenta ka, ang una mong ibebenta is yung una mong binili. So, mag-start ka dun sa beginning or pwedeng dun sa purchases mo kung ano yung earliest mong nabili. So, i-out mo muna yun. So, ang mangyayari, pag in-out mo yun, ang matitirang inventory sa'yo is using yung latest cost mo. Ibig sabihin, kapag bumili ka ng inventory purchases mo during the year, tapos may nabenta ka, yung ending inventory mo will be valued using yung latest cost na bili mo since yun yung hindi pa na-out. So, mamaya ma-picture out natin siya through the examples. So, yung FIFO method, sabi dito, assumes that goods are first purchased are first sold. Thus, the goods remaining in the inventory at the end of the period are those most recently purchased or produced. So, ang inventories is expressed in terms of recent or new prices, while the cost of goods sold is representative of earlier or old prices. So, yung method na to, fini-favor niya yung statement of financial position since magre-reflect yung current replacement cost. However, dahil dun, magkakaroon din ng improper matching ng cost against revenue. Since yung cost of goods sold are old prices, thus ma-understate yung ating cost of goods sold or lower yung magiging cost of goods sold natin. So, kapag ang scenario is nagkaroon ng inflation or increase sa mga prices, kapag FIFO ang gamit natin, it will generate us higher net income since yung cost natin is lower. Pero kapag nagkaroon naman ng deflation or lower cost prices, magiging lower net income kapag FIFO yung gamit natin since lower yung cost natin. So, mag-sample tayo ng sample problem using the FIFO. Share ko yung Excel file. Okay, so assuming na binigyan tayo ng beginning, sales, and purchases during the month ng January, ito. So, nung beginning daw, meron siyang 800 units of inventories with cost of 200. So, ang total cost niya is 160,000. Then, the moment na nagbenta siya noong January 8 ng 500 units, dahil first in, first out, kukuhanin yun dito sa biniling January 1. Hanggat hindi ito nakoconsume or nauubos lahat, ito pa rin yung cost na gagamitin for that sale. Okay, then next, nagkaroon ng purchase ng 700 units amounting to 210 each. So, ang total cost nun is 147,000. Then, nung nagkaroon ng sale na itong January 22 ng 800 units, ang pagkukuhanan mo nito is first, uubusin mo muna yung natira dito, yung 800 minus 500. So, gagamitin mo yung 300 units muna at 200. Tapos, yung remaining, so 500 units pa, gagamitin mo yung 210 pesos per unit para makuha ang iyong ending, ang iyong nabenta. So, ang dito sa given problem natin is, ang ending inventory is 700 units. Okay, so ngayon, meron di bang na-discuss tayo last chapter regarding sa dalawang methods ng inventory which is yung periodic and perpetual. wherein yung periodic, ito yung hindi ina-update every bili and every benta. Ang nangyayari is at the end of the month or period, dun lang sila nagkakaroon ng inventory count to check kung magkano na ba yung inventory. Pero yung perpetual inventory method, ito yung nag-maintain sila ng stock card wherein na-update yung amount ng inventory every purchase and every sale. So, first is i-compute natin magkano yung ending inventory and cost of goods sold using the periodic method. So, ang periodic method, since wala naman siyang update, pwede nating kuhanin kung magkano lang yung dulo, ending inventory. So, kukumpitin natin yung ending inventory na 700 units. Magsisimula tayo dun sa dulo. Kasi first in, first out, so assuming na benta na to lahat, kung kukuha tayo ng 700 na unsold, magsisimula tayo sa dulong nabili. Okay. So, ang unsold is for sure itong 500 unsold pa kasi hindi yan kukuhanin na itong mga benta, di ba? So, 500 times 20. Then, meron pang 700 minus 500, meron pang 200 units. So, ang cost na kukuhanin natin is yung next purchase. So, ang total na ending inventory natin will be 152,000. So, pagkukuhanin natin yung cost of goods sold, since wala tayong per movement na galaw or per movement na recording na inventory, gagamitin natin itong formula natin na beginning plus purchase less ending inventory to get the cost of goods sold. So, ang beginning inventory natin is 160,000. Ang purchases natin is yung 147 plus 110. Then, nakompute natin na ang ending inventory is 152. So, ang cost ng nabenta natin is 265,000. So, ganun yung gagawin lang kapag periodic yung method ng inventory for FIFO. Pero kapag perpetual, ito yung magme-maintain tayo ng stock cards. So, dito, kapag perpetual method, kailangan natin unit cost, units, and total cost ng purchase at sale, and meron tayong balance dito. So, let's say, ito, sa beginning natin, yung 800, 200, 160,000. So, ang ginagawa kapag perpetual, nagbabago, nagkakaroon ng updating, kumbaga, ng balance dito. Ito yung tinatawag na stock card. So, dito, nung nagkaroon ng benta ng 500 units, magkakaroon ka ng latest balance na 300 units na lang at 200 unit cost. Then, January 18, nung nagkaroon ng purchase ng 700, i-retain muna natin first yung 300 since iba yung unit cost niya. Then, magkakaroon tayo ng 700 na new purchase. Then, nung nagkaroon ng sale, amounting to ito, 800 units, ang pagbebenta niya is naka-base dito sa itong balance. Unahin niya yung 300 bago yung 500 is ibabawas niya dito sa 210 na unit cost. So, ang remaining balance ng inventory na lang is first wala na yung 300 na benta na. Sa 700 na benta yung 500, so 200 na lang. 200 times 210, which is 42,000 yung cost as of January 22. So, may running balance tayo dahil perpetual method approach. Okay, January 31, nung nagkaroon ng purchase, so i-add din natin dito yung balance. So, ending inventory natin as of January 31 will be 152,000. Then, ang cost of goods sold, makukuha natin siya dito sa stock card din natin sa total cost ng sales, which is 265,000. So, here, mananotice natin na yung FIFO method, whether periodic or perpetual, will generate the same answer ng ending inventory and cost of goods sold. Ang nagkaiba lang is the manner ng presentation nila, pero answer will be the same kahit na anong method yung gamitin natin for FIFO. Okay, so ngayon, balik tayo dun sa presentation sa ating next na inventory cost flow, which is weighted average method. So, yung weighted average method naman is, yung usual concept lang siya ng averaging. So, ito yung magiging formula niya. Kumbaga parang lahat ng binili ko, wala umpisa, i-divide mo in average, magkano yung cost nila kung naka-average sila. Parang ganun. As i-multiply mo sa existing units on hand mo para makuha yung ending inventory. So, ito yung pwedeng maging formula, cost of beginning inventory, cost of purchases during the period divided by total units purchased and yung beginning inventory para makuha yung weighted average unit cost, then multiplied by units on hand. Another formula is total goods available for sale divided by total number of units available for sale para makuha ang ending inventory. So, to appreciate it, mas maganda i-sample problem natin ito sa Excel file yung weighted average. So, using the same problem dito sa FIFO, kumpitin natin magkano yung magiging inventory if weighted average yung ginamit nating method. So, sa weighted average, meron din tayong periodic and perpetual. Okay, so gagamitin natin yung formula na lahat ng cost ng bili natin. So, beginning, tsaka yung mga purchases natin. So, ang total cost na nabili natin is 417,000 divided by the total units na meron tayo dahil din sa pagbili and sa beginning. So, ang weighted average unit cost natin ay 208.5. So, i-multiply natin yun sa ating ending inventory. So, dito, ang kinuwanan ko na lang is yung nakuha nating ending inventory dito na ito. Kasi dito, nakiwa na natin na 700. Ito pala. Ending inventory is 700 units. So, weighted average unit cost times 700 units equals 145,950. So, to get the cost of goods sold, parehas lang dito sa ating FIFO periodic.
Nakaband naman si Eunice.
Na inventory plus purchases plus inventory na ending para makuha ang ating cost of goods sold. Okay, so paano naman kung weighted average perpetual method ang gagamitin natin? So si perpetual, dahil may stock card, meron tayong monitoring ng balance and unit cost. So kapag perpetual method ng weighted average, nagbabago-bago lang tayo ng unit cost every time merong purchase. So, ito, sundan natin. So, beginning balance natin is 800 and 200 units. So, may 160,000. Nung nagkaroon ng sale, 500, ito, nagkaroon ng sale ng 500 units, ang gagamitin natin unit cost ng pagbenta is yung balance dito, 200. Then, magkakaroon tayo ng balance ulit dito before tayo magkaroon ng next na transaction. So, ang balance natin is 800 less 500, 300. So, ang unit cost mo dito, dahil parehas sila, yun din yung kukuha mo yung 200. So, meron tayong total cost na 60,000. Pero, nung bumili tayo, dito na tayo magkakaroon ng ibang unit cost na 210. So, meron tayong binili dito na 700 at 210. So, magkakaroon tayo ng balancing dito. Ang balance natin is average na. Dito na nag-apply yung average. So, kuhanin natin yung total units, total cost, then i-divide natin yun para makuha ang unit cost na 207. Tapos, nung nagbenta, pag nagbenta, gagamitin mo yung unit cost na na-complete mo dito, 207. So, kakaroon ka dito ng balance after nung sale, which is hindi naman gagalaw ang unit cost kapag walang purchases. So, nung nagkaroon ka ng purchase ulit na itong 31 na 500 units at 220, ito, gagalaw yung average cost mo dahil nagkaroon ka ng purchase. So, ang ending inventory mo is 151,400. So, we will note here naman kapag weighted average, magkaiba ang periodic and perpetual na ending inventory. So, nakuha natin kanina 145,950, then dito 151,400, which is different since nagkaroon tayo ng averaging dito ng unit cost. So, usually, ang tawag dito sa periodic, kapag silent problem na weighted average, ito yung weighted average. And kapag ibang term dito, moving average, yung ibang term dito sa ating perpetual method na weighted average. So, now, balikan natin yung ating presentation. So, dito, next is last in, first out. So, ito yung sinabi natin kanina na hindi siya accepted ng principles ng accounting since dito makikita natin na this method permits income manipulation such as by making year-end purchases designed to to preserve existing inventory layers. And kung titignan mo rin naman sa actual practice, kumbaga, kapag may binili ka, yung last mo daw na binili, yun yung una mo i-out. So, lalo na sa merchandising, hindi ito mag-a-apply kasi technically, ina-out mo yung una mong binili para hindi siya masira. Since this LIFO assumes that goods purchased are first sold and the remaining inventory at the end are for first purchase. So, ito, favorable siya sa income statement kasi may matching siya ng cost against the current revenue and the cost of goods sold being expressed in terms of current or recent cost. Pero since hindi naman na din siya allowed, hindi na rin ako nagbigay ng sample problem. Pero isa rin sa note dito sa LIFO, kapag periodic versus perpetual is magkaiba yung amount na makuha natin. Okay. So ito, meron ding mga other cost na pwedeng gamitin. Depende sa company or dun sa specific sa kanila na inventory costing. So first, meron tayong specific identification. Ang specific identification, ito yung specific costs are attributable to identified items of inventory. So kung magkano yung bili mo dito, yun talaga yung i-reflect na cost, and kung magkano yung natitirang inventory, yung actual cost ng bili niya. Hindi siya in-average, hindi yung nauna or nahuling binili. So, appropriate lang to
50%
kapag
of
not
the rent.
ordinarily interchangeable ang iyong inventory. So, sample neto is yung may mga art gallery, watch, car dealership, furniture store, wherein hindi interchangeable or iilan lang yung items na kaya mo talagang i-monitor yung actual cost niya. Pwede rin siya mag-apply sa mga small business with low unit volumes. So, ito kasi parang pag-specific identification, so mahirap siyang gawin sa mga malalaking business and costly siya to implement. Pero ang maganda dito is actual ng cost yung nare-reflect natin sa ating inventory and cost of goods sold. So, to compute for this, kung kailangan mo lang makuha units on hand, multiplied by the actual unit cost, so yun yung ending inventory. So, next is standard cost. So, itong standard cost is covered siya ng isang buong subject, yung ating costing din. So, sa standard cost. So, ang standard cost is predetermined product cost established on the basis of normal levels of materials and supplies, labor, efficiency, and capacity utilization. So, ito yung meron tayong standard na costing na tinignan, kumbaga parang na-assume ng client na ito yung standard cost for that. So, this one, pag ito yung gagamitin, kailangan realistically attainable and dapat rin-review siya para ma-inline mo siya lagi sa current conditions. And next is relative sales price. So, ang relative sales price naman is used when different commodities are purchased at a lump sum. Single cost is apportioned among the commodities based on their relative sales price. So, ito, kunyari may binili kang naka-bulk na item. So, let's say, nabili mo ng 1 million, tapos bibigyan ka ng relative sales price. So, hahati-hatiin mo lang siya based on sa relative sales price. So, this is based on the philosophy that cost is proportionate to the selling price. Okay, so, magsagot pa tayo ng sample problems. Okay, so, problem 11-2. So, si company began operations at the beginning of current year with 10,000 units of merchandise with unit cost of 80. So, yun yung ating beginning. Then, binigyan niya tayo ng purchases during the year. Then, physical ending inventory of 15,000 on hand. Then, pinagko-compute tayo ngayon, magkano daw ang ending inventory and cost of goods sold given na itong mga method yung gagamitin. So, first is using FIFO periodic. So, first in, first out na periodic. Okay, di ba kapag FIFO, so first in, first out, kapag binigyan tayo na 15,000 ang units na natitira, as periodic, so hindi mo kailangan stock card. So, kailangan mo lang kuhanin itong units na to from the latest purchases. So, meron tayong lot 5 na purchase na 14,500. So, ang unit cost niya is 90. So, yun yung una natin gagamitin. Then, may natira pa, 15,000. So, may 500 units pa. Multiplied by the 100 units, which is nanggaling kay lot 4. So, yung 500 dito is assumed as hindi pa nabenta kasi first in, first out. So, nung nagkaroon ng bentahan, naunang nabenta ito and yung portion nito. So, ang ending inventory natin is 1,355,000. So, to get the cost of goods sold, kailangan natin gawin yung formula ng beginning plus purchases less na-compute natin ending inventory. So, ang cost of goods sold natin is 3,500,000. Next, computing daw natin using the weighted average periodic method. So, kapag ganun, ito yung hindi din kailangan ng stock card or hindi kailangan ng detailed na balance. So, kung titignan nyo dito sa weighted average, ano itsura, ganito lang siya. Parang kamukha lang din siya ng FIFO pero ina-average natin siya. So, kailangan nating makuha yung purchases and beginning. So, ang beginning natin, 10,000, tsaka meron tayong 40,000 na purchases. So, ito yung total natin na total cost ng nabili natin. And ito yung total units natin. So, doon natin makuha ang ating weighted average unit cost, which is 97.10. So, computed siya by dividing the 4855 divided by 50,000. So, 97.10 multiplied by the ending inventory na given na 15,000 units. So, meron tayong ending inventory na 1,456,500. So, ang cost of goods sold natin is same dito. Papalitan lang natin yung inventory ending natin na 1,456,500 to get the cost of goods sold of 3,398,500. Okay, number 3 naman na requirement is to get the inventory and cost of goods sold using the specific identification method, assuming that this inventory comes from lot 3, 6,000 units and lot 4 of 9,000 units. So, dahil specific identification, dapat talaga masabi nila kung saan nanggagaling yung nabenta. So, ito, assuming the inventory. So, ang binigay niya is yung hindi pa nabibenta. So, to get the inventory, 6,000 multiplied by 120, yung unit cost ng lot 3. Then, 9,000 daw coming from lot 4. So, ang unit cost niya is 100. So, meron tayong ending inventory na 1,620,000. To get the cost of goods sold, same formula. Papalitan lang yung ending inventory na nakuha. So, ang cost of goods sold natin is 3,235,000. Okay, next. Problem 11-5. So, dito naman, ang hinihingi is yung gross income for 2020, assuming a FIFO cost formula. So, dahil same lang naman ang periodic and perpetual, hindi na natin kailangan itanong kung ano kayang kailangan natin gamitin method since parehas lang yung magiging sagot. So, eto, for me kasi parang kung papapiliin ka, pwede mo na rin talaga gamitin yung periodic since hindi mo na kailangan mag-maintain yung balance method niya. So, provided dito, yung 2018, 2019, and 2020 purchases and sales. So, to get yung ating net income, kailangan mo makuha ang cost of goods sold. Kasi diba, to get the net income, you need sales less cost of goods sold. So, ang beginning inventory natin is ganito siya kukuhanin. So, meron tayong 2018 na binili, may nabenta na 4,000, may binili ulit kasi may nabenta. So, ang beginning balance natin is 2019 na inventory. So, 5,000 less 4,000 plus 9,000 less 7,000. So, ending inventory natin multiplied by 60. Bakit 60? Kasi yun yung ating first in, first out, diba? So, ang beginning inventory natin is 180,000. Then, add natin yung purchases during the year. Then, kuhanin natin yung ending inventory. So, to get the ending inventory, meron tayong beginning inventory na 3,000 plus purchases less sales multiplied by the unit cost. So, ang cost of goods sold natin is 855,000. So, may net income tayo na 345,000. Okay, so, next, 11-16. So, dito naman, ang pinapakupit is weighted average cost. So, ito, mapapaisip ka kung periodic ba or perpetual. Pero since sabi nga natin, kapag silent ang problem, ang weighted average cost pertains sa ating periodic method, then moving average cost ang tawag natin sa ating perpetual method. So, to get the weighted average, kailangan natin yung weighted average unit cost. So, we need to add the beginning balance plus purchases. So, 1,825 divided by the units. So, ang ating weighted average unit cost is 1825. So, meron tayong ending inventory na 200, which is total units less the sold items, which is 400 and 400, so 800. So, pag minultiply natin yung weighted average unit cost with the ending inventory in units, meron tayong ending inventory na 365,080. So, that's all for inventory cost flow. So, tandaan lang yung iba't ibang inventory cost flow and how to compute for it. And thank you.